Morning sunlight poured into the small house, golden rays cutting through worn curtains. A black man with close-cropped hair and tired eyes woke up on his couch, disoriented. He heard someone moving in the kitchen, the soft clink of ceramic, water running. He turned around and froze completely. A woman stood there, a black woman with rich brown skin, hair slightly messy, wearing his white dress shirt. The fabric hung loose on her frame, buttons half done. She was making coffee, movements careful and deliberate. She turned. She smiled, her dark eyes catching the light. "You really don't remember last night, do you?" He stammered, his deep voice rough with sleep. "Wait, who are—" She set the coffee cup down slowly, her French manicured nails tapping against the counter. "The woman whose car you saved, and whose company owns your house." He stood motionless, his heart pounded against his ribs. His daughter giggled from the hallway, her cornrowed head peeking around the corner. The woman looked at him. Her eyes held secrets, shadows, something deeper. "We need to talk, Ethan." His name was Ethan Vale. 36 years old, skin the color of dark mahogany, former engineer with steady hands and a sharp mind. Now a single dad doing freelance repair work, fixing broken pipes, rewiring old houses, whatever paid the bills and kept food on the table. His daughter Sophie was 7. Bright eyes like her mother's, quick smile, braids decorated with colorful beads that clicked when she moved. She was his entire world. Life was hard, money was tight, the kind of tight that made you count pennies at the grocery store. But Ethan taught her one thing, repeated it like a mantra. "We may be broke, Sophie, but we don't break." She'd nod, her small brown face serious. She understood more than most kids her age, carried wisdom beyond her years. One night, a storm hit. Rain hammered the streets like bullets, thunder cracked the sky, and Ethan was driving home from a late job. His truck struggled through the flooding roads, wipers working overtime. Then he saw it. A luxury car wrapped around a tree, smoke rising from the hood, headlights flickering weakly. He pulled over, ran through the rain. Water soaked through his jacket instantly. Inside the car was a woman. Black woman, black suit, white shirt, expensive watch catching the dashboard lights. Her face was pale beneath her brown skin, drained of color. The seatbelt had her trapped, cutting across her chest. She looked at him, eyes wide with fear and something else. Recognition that she was going to die. "Help. Please." Ethan didn't think. He smashed the window, cut the belt with his pocket knife, pulled her out just as the engine sparked. Seconds later, flames erupted, orange and violent against the black sky. The woman collapsed against him, shaking violently. "Thank you. I'm sorry. I can't breathe." Her breathing was shallow, panicked. The hospital was miles away. The storm had flooded half the roads, made them impassable. He made a decision. "My house is close. We need to get you warm." She nodded weakly. He drove fast but careful, his truck cutting through water. His small house appeared through the rain, a beacon. Inside, he laid her on his bed. The only real bed in the house, sheets clean but worn. He covered her with blankets, checked her breathing. She was unconscious, but stable, her chest rising and falling. Ethan grabbed a pillow, went to the couch. That would be his bed tonight. Around midnight, Sophie woke up. She crept to the living room, saw her dad sitting up there, watching the bedroom door. "Daddy, who's that lady?" "She's hurt, honey. She needed help." "Is she gonna be okay?" "I think so. Go back to sleep." Sophie hugged him, her small arms tight around his neck. "You're a good person, Daddy." I'm just doing what's right." Lightning flashed outside. It lit up the woman's face through the doorway. For a moment, Ethan saw something. Strength, power, authority. This wasn't just some random person. Who was she? Morning came slowly. The storm died down to a drizzle. Ethan made coffee, checked on the woman. She was still asleep, her beautiful face peaceful now. He looked at her expensive suit hanging to dry, the designer purse, the platinum watch on the nightstand. This woman had money. Real money. Generational wealth kind of money. But that didn't matter last night. She was just someone who needed help. He heard movement. She was waking up. Ethan stepped back, let her have space. He went to the kitchen, started making breakfast for Sophie. Eggs, toast, nothing fancy. Then he heard footsteps. He turned and his world stopped. The woman stood in the doorway, wearing his white dress shirt, the one he'd left on the chair. Her hair was loose, natural curls framing her face, slightly messy but beautiful. Her eyes were sharp, awake, studying him with intelligence that made him feel exposed. She smiled, small and controlled. "Good morning." Ethan's face went hot. You're wearing my... You left me in wet clothes. I found this. Hope you don't mind." Her voice was calm, confident, almost amused, professional, like she was negotiating a business deal. Sophie ran in, beads clicking. "Bakla ai?" she asked in Vietnamese, then switched to English. "Who are you?" The woman knelt down, eye level with Sophie. "Just someone your dad saved." Ethan stood frozen. This woman, in his shirt, in his kitchen, making herself at home like she owned the place. "I can call you a taxi," he said. His voice sounded stiff, awkward. "No need. My driver's outside." "Your driver?" She poured herself coffee, took a sip. "He's been there since 6 a.m., waiting." Ethan blinked. "You could have left hours ago. I wanted to thank you properly." She set the cup down. "And return this." She gestured to the shirt, but she didn't move to take it off. She just smiled, testing him. Sophie giggled. "Ko ai xin qua bo." Ethan shot her a look. "Sophie, go get ready for school." "But Daddy..." "Now, please." Sophie pouted but obeyed. She disappeared into her room. The woman watched the exchange, something softening in her expression. "She's adorable. How old?" 7. "You raise her alone?" "That's not really your business." She raised an eyebrow, perfectly shaped. "Fair enough." An uncomfortable silence filled the room. Ethan grabbed a towel, started wiping down the counter. Anything to avoid looking at her, at the way his shirt hung on her frame. Then she reached into her purse, pulled out a wallet, thick, expensive leather. She placed a stack of cash on the table. Hundreds. At least $2,000. This should cover last night. Ethan stared at the money, then at her. What? For helping me. For the bed, the clothes, everything. His jaw tightened. "I didn't do it for money." She shrugged, elegant and dismissive. "Then consider it for laundry service. That shirt probably needs dry cleaning now." Something snapped inside him. Ethan grabbed the money, shoved it back toward her. "Take it back. I don't need your money." Her expression didn't change. Cool, collected, unreadable. Most men would have taken it. I'm not most men. She tilted her head, studied him like he was a puzzle she couldn't solve. "No, you're not." She picked up the money slowly, folded it, put it away. "My mistake. I thought I was being generous." "Generous?" Ethan laughed, bitter. "You think throwing cash around makes you generous? You have no idea what generous means. Enlighten me." Generous is helping someone because it's right, not because you owe them, not because you can afford it, just because they need it. She stood there silent. For the first time, she looked uncomfortable. I see. Do you? Ethan turned away. Because from where I'm standing, you just try to turn a decent act into a transaction. The air between them grew heavy, tense. Finally, she spoke, quieter now. You're right. I apologize. He didn't respond. She walked toward the door, stopped, looked back. What's your name? Ethan. Ethan Vale. Ethan Vale. She repeated it slowly, like memorizing it. I won't forget it. Then she left. The door closed softly behind her. Sophie emerged from her room, backpack on. Bo oi, sao bodianda? I'm not angry, sweetheart. She reminded you of something, didn't she? Ethan looked at his daughter, this wise little girl. Yeah, she reminded me that not everyone sees good the same way. I don't understand. You will someday, sweetheart. That afternoon, Ethan picked Sophie up from school. They stopped at a small grocery store. He counted his money carefully, enough for rice, eggs, some vegetables. Maybe a treat for Sophie if he stretched it. At home, he turned on the TV while cooking. The news played in the background. Then he heard it. Breaking news. CEO Celeste Armand, survivor of last night's car crash, returned to May. Work today. Sources say a local resident pulled her from the burning vehicle just in time. Ethan froze. He looked at the screen. There she was. The woman from this morning. Wearing a sharp business suit, her natural hair styled perfectly, standing in front of a massive corporate building. The logo behind her read Armand Global. The reporter continued. Miss Armand refused to name her rescuer, but she did say this. The screen cut to Celeste. Microphones in her face, cameras flashing. Her voice was steady, powerful. He was kind, humble, and he refused payment. That's the kind of integrity you can't buy. Ethan stood there, wooden spoon in hand, mouth open. Sophie tugged his sleeve. Daddy, that's the lady from this morning. Yeah, kiddo, it is. She's famous. Seems like it. Why didn't you tell me? I didn't know. Sophie's eyes went wide. You saved the CEO. That's so cool. Ethan turned off the TV, went back to cooking. But his mind was racing. Celeste Armand, one of the richest women in the state, known for buying out companies, building empires, crushing competitors, featured in Forbes, Time, Ebony. A black woman who'd shattered every glass ceiling. And he'd just yelled at her, thrown her money back in her face. He laughed, couldn't help it. Well, that's my luck. Sophie climbed onto a chair. Do you think she'll come back? I doubt it, honey. I hope she does. I liked her. Ethan ruffled her hair. You like everyone. Not everyone, just people who are nice. And she seemed nice under all the fancy stuff. Ethan smiled. His daughter, always seeing the good in people. Maybe she was right. Maybe Celeste wasn't just a cold businesswoman. Maybe she was something more. But he'd never know. People like her didn't come back to neighborhoods like this. That chapter was closed, or so he thought. 3 days passed. Ethan tried to forget about Celeste Armand. He had work to do, bills to pay, a daughter to raise. But the universe had other plans. He was at Sophie's school fixing a burst pipe in the teacher's lounge. His hands were dirty, grease on his shirt. Just another day. Then he heard it. A car engine. Smooth, expensive, purring like a predator. He looked up. A black luxury sedan pulled into the parking lot. Tinted windows, chrome details. The kind of car that didn't belong in this neighborhood. The door opened. Out stepped Celeste Armand. White business suit, heels clicking on pavement, sunglasses covering her eyes. She walked straight toward him, purpose in every step. Parents stopped talking. Teachers stared. Everyone watched. Ethan stood up, wiped his hands on a rag. "Can I help you?" She removed her sunglasses, looked directly at him. "Mr. Vale, we need to talk." He sighed. "If it's about the money again." "It's not." Her voice was firm. "It's about the truth." She pulled out her phone, turned it toward him. Security footage, grainy, time-stamped. It showed Ethan carrying her from the burning car, his face clear, determined, heroic. "You saved my life. I didn't even thank you properly." Ethan shrugged. "You already did, by walking away." She flinched just slightly. That was cold. So was treating kindness like a business deal. Silence stretched between them, tense, heavy. Then Celeste looked past him, saw Sophie playing on the playground, laughing with friends. "She's your daughter." "My whole world." Celeste watched Sophie for a moment. Something in her expression softened, walls coming down. "She's lucky to have you. I'm lucky to have her." Celeste stepped closer, lowered her voice. "Ethan, I came here to apologize and to make something right. You don't owe me anything. Maybe not. But I want to do this anyway." She pulled an envelope from her bag, opened it. Inside was a legal document. Ethan recognized the letterhead, his landlord's property management company. "What is this?" "I own the building you rent. As of yesterday, I bought it outright." His stomach dropped. "You what?" "And as of this morning, your lease is paid off. The house is yours, free and clear." Ethan stepped back, his head spun. "You think kindness is a debt to be repaid? I don't want this." "It's not about debt." Her eyes held his, steady, sincere. "It's about starting something better." "Better for who? Your conscience?" She didn't blink. "For people like you, who do the right thing and get nothing in return." "I got something. I got to sleep knowing I helped someone. That's enough." "Is it?" She gestured around. "Is this enough? Working yourself to the bone, struggling every month? You deserve more. I don't need saving. Everyone needs saving sometimes." Her voice cracked just a little. "Even me." Ethan paused. He saw something in her eyes. Vulnerability, pain. This wasn't just about him. "What happened to you?" Celeste looked away. "I grew up poor. Foster care, group homes. I clawed my way to the top. And somewhere along the way, I forgot what it felt like to be helpless. Until the crash. Until the crash." She smiled sadly. "You reminded me that money can't buy character. It can't buy courage. And it definitely can't buy the kind of man who saves a stranger in a storm." Ethan felt his anger melting slowly. "So what now?" "Now I do something I should have done from the start." She handed him another document. "I'm launching a fund for single parents, specifically single fathers. Financial support, job training, childcare assistance." Ethan scanned the paper. His eyes widened. "The Vale Foundation. I used your name. I hope that's okay." "You named a foundation after me?" "It represents the only kind of strength I respect. Quiet, honest, human." He stared at the document. His name in bold letters, connected to something bigger than himself. "I don't know what to say." "Say you'll be part of it. Say you'll help me identify families who need support. You know this community better than I ever could." "You want me to work with you?" "I want you to guide me, keep me honest. Make sure this actually helps people, not just my reputation." Ethan looked at Sophie, still playing, innocent, happy. He thought about all the nights he'd stayed up worrying. About rent, about food, about whether he was enough. If I do this, we do it my way. No PR stunts, no photo ops, just real help for real people. Celeste extended her hand. Deal. He shook it. Her grip was firm, confident, equal. Then she smiled, and mischievous. Oh, and one more thing. What? I still have your shirt. Ethan laughed, actually laughed. Keep it. It looks better on you anyway. A crowd had formed. Parents, teachers. Someone had their phone out recording. A reporter pushed forward, local news. Miss Armin, are you two together? Celeste glanced at Ethan. Her eyes sparkled. Not yet, but he did lend me his favorite shirt. The crowd erupted in laughter, whispers, speculation. Ethan shook his head, grinning despite himself. You're impossible. I prefer determined. Sophie ran over, breathless, excited. Daddy, is that the lady from TV? Yes, sweetheart, it is. Sophie looked up at Celeste. Are you going to help my daddy? Celeste knelt down, eye level. I'm going to try. Is that okay with you? Only if you're nice to him. He's the best daddy in the world. I can see that. I promise I'll be nice. Sophie hugged her. Sudden, spontaneous. Celeste froze. Then slowly, carefully, she hugged back. When Sophie ran back to her friends, Celeste stood. Her eyes were wet. She's incredible. She's my reason for everything. Celeste nodded. Then let's make sure her daddy doesn't have to struggle anymore. As she walked back to her car, she turned one last time. I'll send the paperwork this week. And Ethan? Yeah? Thank you for reminding me why I started this company in the first place. Why's that? To help people who helped me when I had nothing. She drove away. Ethan stood there, document in hand, heart pounding, life changing. Sophie tugged his sleeve. Daddy, is she your girlfriend now? No, honey, she's complicated. I think she likes you. Yeah? He smiled. What makes you say that? Because she looks at you the way you look at pancakes. Ethan burst out laughing. Like I want to eat her? Like she makes you happy. He picked her up, spun her around. You're too smart for your own good. Maybe. Maybe Lily was right. Maybe something was starting, something unexpected, something real. Time would tell. 1 month later. Downtown Convention Center, press everywhere. Cameras, reporters, influencers. The launch event for the Veil Foundation. Ethan stood backstage, uncomfortable in a borrowed suit. Tie too tight, shoes too shiny. This wasn't his world. Sophie sat beside him. Pretty dress, hair freshly braided. She swung her legs excitedly. Daddy, are you famous now? No, baby, I'm just here. But they named it after you. That doesn't make me famous, just lucky. A production assistant approached. Mr. Vale, you're on in 5. His stomach flipped. I thought I was just attending. Miss Armin wants you on stage. Didn't she tell you? No, she definitely didn't tell me. Sophie giggled. You're going to be on TV, Daddy. Thanks for the reminder. The lights dimmed. Music played. The crowd quieted. Celeste walked on stage, confident, powerful. She owned the room instantly. Her natural hair was styled in elegant locks, her dark skin glowing under the lights. She wore a burgundy suit that commanded respect. Good evening. Thank you all for coming. Tonight we launch something special, something personal. The Veil Foundation. Applause filled the hall. Cameras flashed. This fund exists because of one man. A man who saved my life and asked for nothing in return. A man who showed me that true strength isn't measured in dollars. It's measured in character. She looked toward the wings, directly at Ethan. "Ethan Vale, please join me." His heart stopped. Sophie pushed him. "Go, Daddy." He walked on stage, legs shaking, lights blinding. The crowd erupted in applause. Celeste handed him a microphone. "Say something." He stared at her. "You didn't warn me. I wanted it to be genuine." She smiled. "Speak from the heart." Ethan turned to the audience. Hundreds of faces, all watching, waiting. He cleared his throat. "I'm not good at speeches. I'm a handyman. I fix pipes. I change light bulbs. That's what I do." He paused, gathered his thoughts. "But being a single dad taught me something. You don't need money to be rich. You need people who believe in you. You need moments that remind you why you keep going." His voice steadied. "That night in the storm, I didn't save Celeste because I wanted recognition. I saved her because it was right. And somehow, that one moment changed everything." He looked at Celeste. She could have forgotten about me, moved on with her life. But she didn't. She came back. She listened. She cared. That's rare. The audience was silent, hanging on every word. "This fund isn't about me. It's about every parent out there doing their best. Every dad working 2 jobs. Every mom stretching every dollar. Every person who feels invisible." His voice grew stronger. "You're not invisible. You matter. And now you have support. Real support." The crowd stood. Applause thundered through the hall. Ethan stepped back, overwhelmed. Celeste took his hand, squeezed it. Perfect. After the event, they stood in a quiet hallway. Sophie asleep on a lobby couch nearby. Celeste pulled out a small box. "I got you something. You've given me enough. Just open it." Inside was a pen, engraved. The inscription read, "For the man who didn't sell his kindness." Ethan's throat tightened. "You didn't have to do this." "I know, but I wanted to." She stepped closer. "You changed my life, Ethan. You changed mine too." They stood there, close. The air between them charged, electric. "I still have your shirt," she whispered. "I know. I saw you wearing it in the article last week." She laughed softly. "It's my favorite now." "Mine too, even though you're wearing it. Especially because I'm wearing it." She smiled, genuine, warm. "You're full of surprises, Ethan Vale." "So are you, Celeste Armand." Behind them, someone coughed. A photographer. "One photo for the website?" They stood together, professional, but their hands touched, just barely. The camera flashed, capturing something neither of them expected. The beginning of something real. 1 year later, a small storefront opened. The sign read, "Vale Mechanics, in partnership with Armand Global." Ethan wiped grease from his hands. His shop. Small but his. Clean, organized, everything he'd worked for. The bell chimed. Celeste walked in. White shirt, his shirt, jeans, hair down, relaxed. "Beautiful. Still fits," she said. He grinned. "Still stealing my clothes. Borrowing." "Sure." She laughed. Sophie burst through the back door. "Co-Celeste, I got the STEM scholarship. Full ride." Celeste's face glowed. "That's incredible. I'm so proud." Sophie hugged her tight. Ethan watched them. His daughter, this woman, family. Sophie disappeared to do homework. The shop went quiet. Celeste turned to Ethan, nervous, vulnerable. "I have something for you." "Another gift?" "Just open it tomorrow. Promise." She handed him an envelope, cream-colored, sealed. "What is it?" "A question I'm scared to ask." His heart pounded. "You? Scared? Terrified?" She touched his face. "You make me feel things I forgot I could feel." "Like what?" "Like I'm home." Ethan pulled her close. "You are home." They kissed, Soft, deep, a year of friendship becoming love. She pulled back, smiled. Open it tomorrow. Why not now? Because I want you to really think about it. She left. Ethan stood alone, envelope burning in his hand. That night, he couldn't sleep. Morning came slowly. He opened it. A card, handwritten in elegant script. Ethan, you saved my life in a storm. But you did more. You saved me from becoming someone I hated. You reminded me that kindness is the greatest currency. That honor matters more than wealth. That love is built on respect, not transaction. I'm not asking because I owe you. I'm asking because I can't imagine life without you. Without Sophie. Without the man who threw my money back and taught me what integrity means. Will you marry me? C. The second page was an invitation, already printed. The wedding of Celeste Armand and Ethan Vale. Ethan's hands shook. Tears fell. He laughed and cried at once. Sophie appeared. Daddy, why are you crying? Because something impossible just became real. Is Celeste gonna be my mom? He picked her up. Would you like that? More than anything. Then yes, she's going to be your mom. Sophie screamed with joy. They danced in the kitchen. Life was changing again. But this time it felt right. 6 months later. Small ceremony. Close friends. Sophie stood between them, white dress, holding their hands. The officiant spoke. Do you, Ethan? I do. I didn't finish. I don't need you to. I do. Laughter filled the room. Celeste smiled, eager. I've waited long enough. Do you, Celeste? I do. Forever. They kissed early, before permission. They didn't care. At the reception, Ethan gave her a small box. Inside was a key. What's this? The key to my truck. The one from that night. I restored it. It's yours. She stared at it. You kept it? Some things are worth keeping. Like us. Especially us. They danced. Sophie joined them. The three swayed together. A family forged in a storm, built on honor, sealed with love. Celeste whispered, sometimes kindness saves a life. Ethan added, sometimes it saves two. Sophie finished, sometimes three. They held each other as the sun set, orange and gold sky. Their story ended. But their life together was just beginning. Sometimes kindness saves a life. Sometimes it saves two. Subscribe if you believe love begins where kindness is free.